Welcome to Reykjavík Grapevines Newscast. My name is Valur and I'm an editor-in-chief at Reykjavík Grapevine. We're back to the volcano. It's incredible to see this. It has changed a lot. We're now on the south side of it because the wind is not as good as we thought. So we can't go as close as we often could have. I wanted to tell you first about our online shop, of course. You can have a cap like this, or like a fantastic parka, not parka, what do you call it, like a coat, jacket like this. And it's perfect for hiking if you want to come here this summer. And also, I wanted to tell you to like and subscribe if you like this. It's because we really need it. You're really helping us by doing it. So it's a win-win situation for us at least. We do good content for you and you help us by watching it. Also, in this show, we're going to go a little bit over how huge this has become. This is not the largest volcano ever. It's a month old now. It's 19th of March. Then it erupted. Now it's 20th of March. You're watching this, of course, on Wednesday, so so it's a day later. And I'm also going to tell you about the effect that the volcano has on global warming. And it's not like you suspect, I think. So, let's go for it. Before we go and check out the craters, I just want to show you the lava here. It's, of course, 1 month old. And you can see that, I don't know if you can see like the top, the smoke going up there. The mountain there is the first one, what we call Southie and Northie, or Bob, some call them that. But we're now quite a distance from them. I don't know, like I'm really bad at distance, as you have noticed perhaps, but I'm guessing 400 or 500 meters here. Anyways, this lava here is burning hot and it's crawling. You can see how like this, like the layers a little bit further here are like up to, I don't know, like 15 meters high or something like that. But this one here is much like lower and slower. It's actually it's crawling towards us. And some people have asked me like, how is the smell here? And the smell here is more like, it's like sulfur and it's like burnt rock. This is actually a smell that Icelanders know pretty well. We have felt this smell often and especially like in hot days, like when it's very much sun, perhaps for weeks in Iceland, you can even feel this smell like in the lava in Iceland. So it's not that uncommon. You can also feel like the smell of this burnt moss. And that's like burnt grass almost. It's not that unsimilar to like you can feel wherever in the world actually. So the smell here is like, it's kind of odd. There's a lot of earth in it. And as you can see here, like it's, this is the moss is burning here. And it's quite interesting to be honest. So this lava here is now, it's 14 million cubic meters. Meaning that like if you put it like in a perspective, I don't know if anyone is watching football. I don't really do that. I just saw this in Morgunblaðið. It was pretty good measurement though. But if you know the Wembley Stadium, it's like a football stadium. This is like what was it like? What was it? It's like 12 Wembley stadiums in England. But we also, like a better perspective is for us Icelanders at least. We have the swimming pool called Laugardalslaug. And this swimming pool is where world class is also, it's a gym. And it's a very big area in Laugardalur in Reykjavík. And this is like 14,000 swimming pools like that. So this is quite, it is something. But I mean, when it comes to like volcanic scales, this is nothing. This is so small that geologists in Iceland, like, they don't even think this is remarkable at all. But it's like perhaps a better measurement is 0.9 square kilometers. So you can actually just do the math yourself. It's quite easy like that. But you can see this here, it's absolutely amazing. It's still very hot. It's actually, well, it's cold here actually, but it's very sharp, really sharp. But still it comes smoke out of it. You can see like fires within. I can see here, the fire is in here, is really hot inside, of course. The flow of this lava is still, it used to be like 5 cubic meters per second, but now it's actually more. It's up to 8 meters per second, cubic meters at second, sorry. Which is still like very little in all these scales. For example, in 2010 we had an eruption in Fissures, very close to Eyjafjallajökull. A complicated word, but a notorious one. But Fissures came 1 year earlier, and it was a very small one. That even was, this is like half of that. So it's quite small in every aspect. But I have to say, like if you check this out, you can see like these. Someone commented actually, like when you see like, well, such a weird word, like polyfo or something like that. When you see like these, how like it's not as edgy, this one here. We call it Helluhraun, which is it's very different in Icelandic and English, I guess. But it is very, very beautiful. Oh, then we have more helicopters, I guess. But just one last thing, because Art is trying to get the sound here. Perhaps when the helicopter is gone, the cracking sound here, especially here, it's amazing. It's like rain. So perhaps you can hear it. Yeah, right. Yeah, listen to this. We're here with a better view over all of the craters. Just to put this in perspective, you can see here, this strait out there is southy. It used to be southy and northy. Some called it Bob, but it doesn't really have any name. But let's not call it Bob, please. It's not it sounds very tacky in all aspects. But you can see that there are not anymore 2 craters actually. And the only one which is there is very, very small. It's actually quite shocking to see it. And you can see like this is not that much of a volcano actually, because the bigger the crater gets, the smaller, like it gets smaller somehow. To be honest, me and Art, we've been trying to realize how this all is. And we think that Mini-Me is over there, quite fat and like bigger now than it used to be. And the newer ones, there are 2 over there. Then we have the newest here, and it's very active, as you can see. And then you have, of course, there was number 3, I think. Or is this Mini-Me? We have no idea, to be honest. But you can see it's a beautiful lava coming down there, almost like a waterfall falling down there. And it's quite remarkable. But the biggest news here is basically that number 2, which was it was incredibly active in the beginning. We call it in Icelandic like Páskagígur, or the Easter crater, because it came up at the 2nd of Easter. But that had silenced now completely. There is no lava in it. And it was quite remarkable when Art was actually showing me in the drone flight that there is no evidence that there was like an active volcano within there just a few days ago, which is just amazing. But what does this mean? It means nothing, basically. Geologists say that this area here is still so active that the magma under, which is like many kilometers here, is a line. They think it's like 5 kilometers over to the north. And the magma just finds its shortest way up. They think it went silent because it became too big. so the magma didn't have the power to get up there anymore. So it just kept on moving, and it came back up somewhere around here. And this is how it worked more or less. It just the magma it just finds the thinnest crisp or thinnest earth and just breaks up there if it can. So we have these craters, of course. So also on the other side, and there's also a similar reason we're not over there, is that the lava is looking like it's flowing to the east here. Remember, the city is here, Grindavik is here, and the ocean is basically there. And we could go on the other side of this mountain and get to the other side. But we can't. Well, it's harder now to get there, not only because of the pollution, but because the lava is filling up the pass that we used to use to go into this valley. So it's changing a little bit dramatically. Just to show you here, this is number 2. This is the one that was so powerful that it was like borderline scary, actually. You remember when we were in the night here, and it busted out the lava, and it came all over. And you can see now this lava, the same that we saw in that night. You can see that video again. This is now like this hard. And it's incredible to see the shape of this. But this lava is cold. At least here. It could be hotter, closer to it, but it's quite interesting. And now we understand a little bit better the area after hiking around it a little bit. And we now think that this is Mini-Me. And Mini-Me is not longer that, it's just a monster. So we can officially just start calling this crater, I don't know, like Little John, like Robin Hood or something. Yeah, this is a very changed area. It's really odd to hike here now. It changes very quickly every week. It's incredible. So just to forget, I wanted to go into the global warming with you. I've seen a lot of these comments, not only on our YouTube channel, but just all over the internet. And I'm always just baffled, why people actually think that volcanoes are actually contributing. They are contributing to some when it comes to carbon dioxide, but they are not contributing into the global warming. And what's more, it does not compromise the effort of the humankind to battle the global warming, the greenhouse gases in general. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's a whataboutism. The reason is pretty simple. We know that volcanoes, they actually cool the earth down, which sounds perhaps odd, but it actually makes sense. We have few examples of this historically, and the youngest one is from 1991 in Philippines, when I think it was Pinatubo, the mountain, and all the earth, it actually cooled down for 0.5 in Celsius, which is huge actually, because I mean, if you know anything about global warming, of course, 0.5 up is huge. The same is when it goes down. We also have a very famous volcano in Iceland called Skaftár Eldar. This was in Lagagígar. I've seen some comment about this, and I've never really went into it because it's just a complicated history. But this happened in the late 17th century, 1783 to 1784. And the thing is that what happened then, it was for 1 year this volcano, but it's believed that it sparked, it was one of the reasons it sparked the French Revolution. The reason is that what came out of the volcano was ash and sulfur compounds, and it actually blocks the sun, and again it cools down the earth. And what happens when the earth cools down? Well, the crops goes down. There are famine happens. We don't have as much food, and especially in a delicate era like in the end of the 17th century. Meaning when Marie Antoinette said why can't they just eat cake? That was because, of course, they were starving. The rich people were not, and Iceland contributed into people starving actually in Europe, middle of Europe, not only France, like a lot of places. So we know very well that volcanoes actually cools down the earth. There is no indication, nothing that indicates at all that it actually like contributes to the greenhouse gases and warming up the earth. But that said, it does pollute. That is true. It actually pollutes a lot. So every year it pollutes from like 0.14 to 44 gigatons every year. And we're talking about all the volcanoes in the world. And gigatons, of course, sounds like huge, right? No, the truth is that you and me and these idiots flying all over us and robbing us our peace, like I said before, they are actually, we are producing 35 to 40 gigatons every year. So in like 1 to 4 days, we produce the same as all the volcanoes in the world do in 1 year. Meaning that this theory is not only utter rubbish, it's just, to put it mildly, complete bullshit, and people that say this are either imbeciles or they just don't know better. I mean, I don't know. So let's check Meradalir. I want to see that. We're now here at the edges of the area, the volcanic area. Down here is, of course, Meradalur. And as you can see, of course, the lava has taken over like a very small amount of the valley. It's a huge valley actually, but it seems that it has just stopped and is cold. Mostly because the number 2 is not active anymore, meaning there is no one of these vents that is going on now are producing anything that goes down to this valley. But of course, this could change very easily, and not only that, there could easily become like a new vent somewhere around in this area, because this, like you can see here, is more or less the volcano, the Fagradalsfjalls volcanic system, which is basically this line here. And another scenario, of course, is that it actually will come up somewhere over there. It's not unlikely at all. So, I mean, it is what it is, like they say. Yeah, I use that phrase a little bit too often, right? But this is it for us today. It's been quite interesting to go to the area again. It's a wonderful weather, a little bit cold, of course, but that's Iceland for you. But the area is very changed. It's a little bit hard to hike here, to be honest. It's not. I mean, it used to be a lot easier, just to be honest. So, don't forget, if you like it, like and subscribe it. Leave a comment. Tell us what you think. And yeah, until next time, see you then.